And we are Live. Yes, we are live, yes. Okay. Number one, before I begin, happy Mother's Day to anyone who is a mother. I honestly wouldn't. No. I couldn't imagine, having a live, living thing inside of you, and then giving birth, that just seems extremely painful. It really, really does. I wouldn't. No, I would not. I couldn't even imagine, the pain. And then on top of that, for an X amount of months, you're carrying a living being inside of you. You would have to be extra careful with everything. I just couldn't. No. I don't know how y'all women do it. Is it even natural instinct to want to have that? Of course, that's just how nature is, the woman has the kid, blah, 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 blah. But since humans, we've been going against our natural instinct for, geez Louise. Gosh. We've been going against our natural instinct for years. I don't even think us humans have any natural instinct anymore. We probably wouldn't even be able to grasp the concept of our natural instinct. So it's just who willingly, just put a living being inside of me and let me carry it for all these months and be in excruciating pain, vomiting and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And then on top of that, there's some people who have more than one kid. I'm just God damn, man. That I've seen, when it comes to pregnancy. And then on top of that, when I used to be corrupt in the head a little bit, I remember I watched a lot of shock videos, okay? And I don't want to put any kind of imagery in your head or anything, but one of the videos that I watched, and I'm not going to go into any kind of big details, but the baby's head got stuck during pregnancy. Literally stuck during pregnancy. And that would be horrible. That would be miserable, man. It's just, nah, man. That's the risk right there, man. There's all kinds of stuff that you got a living being wanting to come outside of you. And then one thing that always gives me the heebie-jeebies is seeing their hands and feet. I remember sometime during the chat at our job, they sent a GIF out, of a baby's hand running up and down the belly of the mother, and it just gave me the heebie-jeebies. I'm holy there was a living human being inside of you. Man, that is just nah, man. No. That just would make me uncomfortable, knowing I have something inside me. That's like a whole nother level of responsibility, man. That's a whole nother level of responsibility right there. Because they're inside of you. It's one thing to be taking care of them, on the outside of you. But man, they're inside of you living. Whatever you eat and whatever you consume, whatever you do, it's going to leave a mark on the kid. Man, heck no, man. That's just way too much responsibility, man. I'm already trying to be responsible for myself. I can only imagine, carrying another living person inside of me and then waiting for them to come out and then having the fear of what if its head gets stuck and the doctor's got to go get, they got some kind of utensil to, they pretty much have to cut the baby to come out. man, that's just going to make it 100 million times worse. You're already in excruciating pain and stuff. And then on top of that, a head getting stuck? Nah, man, nah. I'm fine. Like, nah. I couldn't do that. Nah. But man, for the mothers that have been there, done that, you know, y'all been through that maybe 1, 2, 3, you know, however many times. Like, man, I remember, you know, when I was trying to date, you know, when I was trying to, like, I got scared a lot on the dating stuff, like, because it's just some of the stuff that would be brought up, I'm just like, nah, I'm good, see ya, like, nah. But there was one woman, I remember she had like 10 kids, you know, and she worked at a, like, she was working like a, I think she was a semi-truck driver for a warehouse or something like that. But anyway, 10 kids, and she told me she wanted more, and I'm just like, man, that's a lot of kids, and man, you want more? Man, no. It's just not. That's not my cup of tea. I honestly don't know how. But maybe some people just like, you know, having kids and, you know, just going through the process of having a living being inside of them. Like, oh man, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies just even thinking about it. But you gotta remember, there's a whole lot that I think is just ew. Like, I think it's just ew, while a normal person... no! What the fudge? Okay, it's good, everybody, it's good. But, you know, I got a lot of... When it comes to... I'm kind of getting better at it. You know, I'm making progress each and every day with everything. But I remember when I had so much hate in my heart. And, I mean, if y'all listen to my older writings, like, it was very, very... Man, this guy really hates people. He really hates people. He really hates himself. Like, my writings were very vocal about all that. And I remember talking about how where we just have skin, like, it's just, everything is just skin. Like, you know, for example, like, I remember there was a writing where, you know, I was expressing about how people just talk about perversion all the time. And, you know, they talk about, you know, the body of the woman and how they're so infatuated by it. But I was breaking it down to, man, it's literally just the same kind of skin that you got. Like, they bleed the same blood you bleed. Like, and when it comes to sex, like, what is it? Like, it's just skin on skin. Like, there's nothing deep inside of it. But as you can see, that was when I lacked a lot of empathy and stuff. And that's all I just saw. Like, that's all I thought it was. Like, I would break down, like, the human structure and just break down of how, pretty much how disgusting everything was. Of course, now I can acknowledge that I was ill-minded, you know. I'm still healing to this very day. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I don't understand, but I'm learning, you know. I mean, when you lack so much empathy and you lack so much of that stuff and you just have nothing but hatred in your heart for so many years, you know, it's hard. It's really hard to relearn a lot. It's hard, but, you know, I make do with it. You know, I noise out a lot of stuff that would just be like, ew, this is disgusting. Like, ew, that's disgusting. When it's really just, that's just normal. That's just normal. You know, that's just normal. It's a lot. It's a big process. A lot of people don't like to go through these kind of processes where they just have to, you know, learn everything. But I honestly think I took that route of just breaking down the anatomy and everything and just realizing we're just all identical. We all bleed the same, we all do everything the same. Like, when it comes to waste, all that stuff, like, there's nothing attractive about us. We're all disgusting. That's how I would break it down in my older writings, and I would just really express my hatred, just really break it down. So I've healed a lot. I've came a long way with my ideology on things and everything, but I will admit it's tough, It's tough when your mind is wired a certain way for so long. It's hard to break, because it used to comfort me back in the day, Of course, now it's not really comforting. It's more like, James, you got to think better. What's wrong with you? But I have gotten a lot better. Progress. I'm loving everything that I've been attracting. I'm thankful for everything that I've been attracting. I want to, I want life to just be a joyful experience, That's what I want. That's why I stay on the grind all the time. I stay looking at positive quotes all the time. Like, I want to achieve a greater life than what I have. I missed it. I want to achieve a greater life than what I have. Of course, I'm thankful for what I have. I'm thankful for how far I came, but I want to achieve greater. So in order to achieve greater, I got to stay working on myself. And working on yourself means rewiring a lot of stuff that was in the head. So to be honest, the people that, didn't have a life like mine, I say embrace it. Be thankful. I met someone who really has, a messed up life. Like, they really had it tough. Like, they really had it tough. Like, I thought I had it tough, but, no, this one woman I met, she really had it tough. For example, they pretty much both of their baby daddies are dead. And, that's like, man, that's like fucked up. Like, both the baby daddies are dead. And then on top of that, they're still losing family members and all that stuff. It's just like, gosh, I couldn't imagine, because that means the kid or the kids that you have had with both of those people, well, now it's full on your responsibility. It's like, man, that's tough as fuck. That's tough as hell, man. Like, so really, be appreciative for what you have. Be appreciative for what you have experienced, because in life, you might not have it as bad as someone else. Someone is always experiencing worse. That's just how it is. You just got to accept that. You just got to be thankful for what you have. You got to be thankful for what you experienced. And you got to not be the product of what you have experienced. You have to learn from the experience and achieve greater than what you have experienced, And that's kind of why I've always just been on the grind, working on myself. I put 5 years into Advantage therapy, caseworker, 5 years of my fucking life of people telling me there ain't nothing wrong with me, but yet I achieved it. I advanced. I've gotten better. And the thing is like, when you come to a point where you understand so much about mental health because you went and got help, because you put in the years in the therapy and all that stuff, because you wanted to recover, you wanted to be different. Like, man, people would think, oh man, James is so tough. He don't express any kind of emotions. He don't do none of that. He watches those shock videos like it's nothing. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, that's nothing cool. That's not cool. And the thing is I remember when my friends at that time, when they were saying, yeah, James don't even cry, he don't even flinch or nothing at some of these videos we throw at him. Like, man, he's tough. Like, at first I was like, well, this must be complimentary, but I didn't understand their fascination with these videos. You know, I didn't understand it at all. I just thought nothing of it, because I already hated, you know, a lot of things, so it was hard for me to even find a reaction in a lot of stuff, you know. And that's one thing that's a stereotype within society, is that men have to be these no empathy having, no emotions having men, you know. Like, I didn't even like it. But the thing was, I didn't know how to get out of it, number one. And I didn't know anything different. It's all I knew. It's all I knew. What's different, you know? I wanted to experience different. Because I honestly was miserable. I was miserable. I didn't like how life was for me. I didn't like none of it. I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel, but I didn't know how to feel, you know? And there's a lot of people that will never understand, you know, what I'm talking about. Like, I didn't know how to feel. I really didn't. My hatred was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, you know. It was hard to recover on a lot. I've recovered a lot, though. I recovered a lot. And if it wasn't for therapy, I would have never found my inner child. I would have never found it. I would have just continued to be a kid in an adult's body. I would have just continued. But when we found that inner child, we found peace within all my trauma and everything. I found the inner child. And from there, that's where success lies. Just do whatever the inner child wants you to do. Get it out of your system. And the facility that you're going through, they're going to take care of you through the whole process. They're going to make sure that it leaps, you know, so the inner child inside of you ages faster than, you know, to catch you up mentally, to get you where you need to be. And then next thing you know, I was starting to feel, you know, it was different. Remember I watched some horror films because I was a horror film addict. And I remember one of them just made me feel queasy, and that movie never did that to me. And when I told my caseworker, she's like, James, this is great. This is great news. This is great news. You're rebuilding your empathy. You're rebuilding. I mean, yeah, it's a slow process, but it has gotten a lot better. It has gotten a lot better. For example, like when I was watching Tropic Thunder in the military scene, when they had the guts and stuff, like, man, that made me sick to my stomach just watching that. Even though I know it's fake, I know they're being funny, but man, that was nasty. That was disgusting. I don't want to see stuff like that. I don't want to see stuff like it. It made me feel real uncomfortable, you know. So that's just one example out of a million that I could provide. But want to hold on, man, and just want to be thankful for everything you experienced. You know, Mother's Day, it was a good day today. Good. We had all the family. One thing that just bugged me though. Okay, and you know, so a while back ago, me and my dad finally had a good father and son moment, right? He had a good father and son moment. This was years ago when I wanted to get a tattoo with him because I wanted to get the tattoo that's in honor of him in front of his face, you know. Like, I wanted to tell him the story while my tattoo artist was tattooing me. The tattoo that I got was Unreal Tournament. It was an Unreal Tournament logo from the Game of the Year edition 1999, okay? That was the very first video game that I ever got into. Dad bought me my own computer. He bought me everything, okay? And we played online together. This was father and son moment when I was in elementary school, okay? And then he just stopped playing with me. Then he just stopped playing with me. I would ask him, Dad, are you going to play? Are you going to play with me? You going to play with me? You know, I was probably like 7, 8 years old. I was trying to get him to play with me again. He wouldn't. He just stopped playing altogether. I don't know what it was. Mama said there was a lot that was going on when we lived in that house and stuff. I don't really know. But all I know, that was the only good time I had with my dad. And so years later, we're in the tattoo place. I'm getting the Unreal Tournament logo in front of them. And I'm telling them how much that game meant to me when I was a kid, you know. Of course, my dad was holding back a lot of emotion. You know, he expressed the tattoo artist, you know, I ain't gonna cry in front of my son, man. But Dad chilled with us. Like, you know, I had just a regular tattoo session, which is where me and the tattoo artist would like talk for like 2 hours, and then we'd end up getting the tattoo going or something like that. We would talk for a long time, and we just hung out, and it was all in all a great experience, all in all, because, you know, Dad got to hear what was held inside of me. I was like, that was the moment. That moment meant a lot to me when you played video games with me when I was a little kid, and then you just stopped, you know. And then on top of that, then Dad got his tattoo, right? He got an eagle head, and you know, it was just a good father and son moment, right? Well, today we're sitting at the dinner table, right? And my sister, she expresses, yeah, me and Dad are going to get a tattoo together. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's going to be a good experience. You're going to enjoy it. And Dad was like, yeah, I'm going to get a tattoo that he got years ago. He wants to get that corrected and fixed. Because it was a bad tattoo that was done with a tape. I think Dad said like a tape motor and a pen. And that's how it was done in a hotel room. But he wants to get it fixed and brought back to life. Okay? And then my sister brings up, yeah, you need to fix that eagle head too. And my mom was like, what's wrong with the eagle head? And she's like, everything. It looks fucked up. It looks fucked up. You know? And my dad was like, there's nothing wrong with this eagle head. And this conversation went on and on and on. And my sister kept saying, he needs to get it corrected. You need to get it corrected. I didn't say anything because I don't want to argue. I'm tired of fucking arguing. I'm tired of it, you know. And then eventually, you know, down it, you know. And then Dad just said, okay, fine. I'll get it corrected too. And I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, the way that hit me is, you know, you're vandalizing over my father and son time that I had. You're getting your experience with them, but you're wanting to vandalize over mine? You're wanting to vandalize over my experience that I had with him? Like, that's not cool. Like, the tattoo was fine, but it was like she wanted to correct it, you know. And if you're wanting to correct a moment that was just so beautiful, and it was only like done like what, a couple years ago? There ain't nothing to correct on that. Leave it be. Like, yeah, she was going over how the line's all fucked up and all this other shit. There ain't nothing wrong with that tattoo. But I didn't say nothing because I know she's going to say something. That's how it is. That's how it always is. Like, it's always wanting to be the controller. I was wanting to be the controller, but it's like, you need to realize everyone has their own life. Everyone has their own experiences. Like, you're getting your moment with them. You're getting the tattoo session with them, just like I had a tattoo session. But why are you wanting to butcher over the experience he had with me? Because he kept expressing there's nothing wrong with it. But yet she wasn't letting him have that. She wasn't allowing his answer to be, the result. Like, okay, it's perfect. Okay, let's just keep it at that. And then on top of that, he was drinking some too. So, alcohol is a depressant as it is, So it's just like she kept drilling into his head, and they kept defending it for so long. And then my dad just said, fine, I'll get it corrected too. Now, will he get it corrected? I think maybe he just said it just to, just to let the dang conversation go. But it's like, I would never want to vandalize. If you had a good moment with my dad and you got a tattoo with him, I would not say fix that shit. I would not want to say fix that. That tattoo looks like shit. Because it's not the fucking tattoo that's the matter. The matter is the reasoning behind that tattoo, Why do you think some people give dang stick and poke tattoos to each other? Like, it's all about the experience in the moment within it. But you're wanting to correct something that's not wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Tattoos come in all shapes and sizes and all that other bullshit. Like why correct it, Now, Dad wanting to fix the one that he got done with a tape motor and a pen and all that stuff. That tattoo's been in him for years. Like, he got that when he was, like, really young. So, he wants to bring it back to life. That's an important time for his past. If anything, my sister should be thankful that she's there to watch him bring it back to life. But to vandalize over my time with him, I'm like, nah, man. But see, that's how it always is, man. It's like, man, something's going on over there. What is it today? Sunday. What's going on a Sunday over there? But, I don't know, man. It just, I'm honestly just tired of it, man. I'm just tired. I don't want to argue anymore. I'm tired of it. It doesn't matter. It's like anytime I bring up something that's like mental health related, or if I bring up something that's highly disrespectful and I let them know, hey, that's really disrespectful, someone always has a problem with it and someone always has an issue with it, and it's just like, okay, whatever. You believe what you want. And to be honest, the way that I think on it, especially when it comes into, involving someone else's life, you're only making your result of karma even more detrimental, because you're not torching your life, you're torching another person's life. You're torching their memories. You're torching, if you're wanting to continue to control another life and correct them, like, it's only going to hit you 1,000 times harder, because guess what? You're adding on to more regret that they need to hold on to. Like, let it go. Like, my parents have progressed wonderfully. They progressed wonderfully. Like, they're trying their best to progress, and they're making really great effort in everything. But, that was hard, like getting Dad to go to the tattoo place with me, and, father and son time, because I ain't had no father and son time. And jeez Louise, like, he's always working. I never got that. So that tattoo means a lot to me, because that's a reminder of the time he met my tattoo artist. That tattoo artist was telling my story, the very first chapter, the very first chapter. now I got a new artist, and she's telling the second chapter, Tattoos for me are a very emotional experience to me. And it was great to share with my dad. But to have someone that's blood on top of that, to want to vandalize, over it, it's just like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because then on top of that, if it does get corrected, he's going to have to remember, my daughter corrected the moment that I had with my son. And that's just how I look at it. Because I would never say something like that to someone. I would never say something like that. I don't even know where someone gets that type of entitlement to even say, man, that's a fucked up tattoo, when it looks fine. I don't understand that type of mentality, and never will. But whatever, all in all, I'm going to send him a message. I'm going to express, my emotion on it, because, I want my side to be heard at least, because, he was already having a rough day as it was. It's Mother's Day, Man, your car sounds disgusting, dude. Like, jeez Louise. Does he really think his car sounds that cool? Like, that don't sound cool. He needs to get that looked at. Jeez Louise. But, I would never do something like that. I wouldn't. Because I lost my train of thought because of that car that sounded so nasty. But anyway, I just don't understand. I don't understand where people get that type of entitlement. Like, you don't know the story behind their tattoo. Well, of course she did. She knew where he got it from. She knew he got it from mine. But she's her tattoo artist, because that's going to be her tattoo artist. So she's him to correct what my tattoo artist did. And it's like, what? I don't know. It's like, for a long time, I didn't really have a good, close relationship with my family, And now we're actually getting closer. But then just to hear something about a moment that I had with my dad, me and my dad, it's hard for us to even connect as is, because we're just two completely different people. We're just really, really different. Like, I am like the exact opposite of my dad, And it's hard for us to connect on things. It's hard. But then we finally had that father and son moment, and she's wanting to correct it. And it's just like, why? Because it's not up to your expectations? Why? My parents tried their goddamn best to raise us the best that they could. They did everything in their power. But it's like, some decisions you gotta leave in their hands. Like, you can't control people's decisions, because it's up to them. Are you in control of your life, or are you gonna let that person control your decisions in your life? That's why I'm just kind of just backing down. I'm just backing out. Because after that talk I had with my supervisor, I think I had to talk with him for a reason. He just told me less is more. And the whole time hearing her talk that, all I had in my head was just anger, because, the manic manic thoughts that I had in Illinois when I was visiting and all that stuff. And, and I had to battle it out. It took me like a week, it was like a couple days when I got back here to get it completely out. Like, now I'm finally good. But it's like, it continues, it continues, I don't know, man. It's like, I texted my friend, I was like, dude, I stick out like a sore thumb. Like, with my family. Like, I really, really do. And they're progressing wonderfully and all, but man, I stick out like a sore thumb. Like, my mentality, my ideology on things, like, and that just comes with progress. You just need to accept that you're just the example for them to learn from, so they can progress with you. Sometimes some of the stuff you're going to hear, some of the stuff you're going to see, it's just going to be like, why are you trying to ruin the progress? But then again, those obstacles are being put in front of them so they can progress. That's why I'm going to send them a message, explaining. But, oh yeah, I remember now where I left off. He was already having a rough day. Okay, number one, it's Mother's Day, right? He done broke 2 dang TVs, right? He lost his mother. So I know Mother's Day was already eating him alive, And then on top of that, to hear your daughter say that tattoo you got with your son is crappy. I want my tattoo artist to correct it. Because the line work is just horrible and blah, blah, blah. And it's not. The tattoo looks fine. But, I don't know. I'm going to let my emotions be heard, though. It's just like, you got to remember, when you're progressing in life and stuff, and you come from a household where a lot of people didn't get help, a lot of people didn't come to find peace with their traumatic experiences from their past, they just override it. That's what a lot of people do. They didn't heal from it. They just override it. They find something to mask over it, to be like a Band-Aid over it. But it never heals because they never found peace through it. And that's one thing. Like, if a lot of people just ended up to go find peace with their traumatic experiences, it's going to be hard for them to even remember a lot, because they kept putting a Band-Aid over it, over and over and over and over through their life. But believe it or not, there is one thing that could be bothering them. And the therapists, they know the right questions to ask to help you remember before that. Then you're going to start remembering a lot more. And the thing is, a lot of people don't want to come to peace with their past because they know they're going to find out that they were living a lie. They're not even who they are, because you end up finding your real identity. That's why I just stick with, who I am now. I'm finally myself. But I also got to remember, not everyone takes that route. And it's sad. Because as much as you want to say something, as much as you want to wake them up, you can't wake them up too fast. They got to learn it their own. That's kind of why I just got silent. I just got to let the obstacle play out and trust that the universe has got my dad, just like I trust that the universe has got my mom. How much progress that I've made with them, how much my mom's progressed, how much my dad has progressed. But it's all learned behavior. What you need to realize is that your kids end up being a worse version of who took care of them. They end up being 100 times worse. Now, majority of the times as those people get older, the people that took care of them, they start to learn a lot. They become wiser because they get tired. They're getting tired. Death is coming. They're getting tired. So they become more lenient. But then they got to deal with the person that they took care of basically a reflection of who they were, but 100 times worse. And half the time, they don't even know how to identify it. They just normalize it. Yeah, you know how she is. You know how he is. You know how they are. You know how he is. And it's like, you want to say, well, they can correct that. It's going to take a lot of work, but they got to correct that. It's completely disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. But you know how they are. Oh, but they've always been like that. Like, just trying to find excuses and normalize the situation of dysfunction when it shouldn't be normalized. But they don't know any better, Like, for example, like, have you all ever seen Wonderful Whites of West Virginia? Okay, so you look at the older woman. I think her name was Bernie Mae. And she kept telling the kids not to smoke weed in her house, blah, 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 blah. Not to do any of that stuff. And they kept doing it. They kept doing it in front of her. Like, they kept smoking around her. She kept telling them not to do it. But yet, they kept doing it. It's all learned behavior. And I bet you $1 million that's how she was back in her day. But the people who were, taken care of by that person, they end up being 100% worse. Because kids always want to one-up the adult who took care of them. Because they want to leave a mark of impression. Like, yeah, I'm going to make them proud. I'm going to make them proud. But then as she got older, she didn't do that stuff no more. It didn't bother the kids that they're still smoking around her. And you see, back then I used to think that DVD was funny as heck. But when me and my friend were talking about it, because she's from the other side of Virginia. But she said West Virginia pretty much is like that DVD. And, after stuff that we brought up together, I was looking back on it. I'm like, man, I don't think I can watch that DVD no more. I don't think it would be funny no more. Because now I know a lot about mental health and stuff. I know about all that stuff. I know all that stuff. So I don't think I would find it funny. Do I want to test it? No, I don't. I don't want to test it. I don't even want to try. Like, I don't even want to look at it. Because I know what it is. I know what the film's about. I know what it is. It's just a DVD on dysfunction. A really, really, really dysfunctional family that needs a lot of help. But yet, people want to make money off of it and market. And just make a lot of money off of these people that are clearly suffering, because we live in a society where people laugh at those struggling mentally. Wow, they're fucked up. Did you see that? Just making fun, just laughing at someone suffering. That's what that movie is. It's a documentary of just a family that has it rough. And they're suffering. And it's horrible. Yeah, like, I logged on to YouTube, and come to find out there's even a worse, because you see, I remember when I first got into, getting help and stuff, like, there was a documentary that I got into. Well, yeah, I was watching a lot of different type of mental health type documentaries and stuff, just wanting to learn more. And I came across a documentary called Children of Death. And it was about a hospital back in, I think it was maybe the 70s or the 80s. But it was just based on children, like from young as elementary school up to like teen years. I had to shut that shit off. Like, I mean, it was dark. Like, really dark. But there was another channel Because I logged on to YouTube today and they were like, wow, a really dark documentary on mental health. I'm like, what? Something darker than Children of Death? Like, I highly doubt it. But I don't even want to look into it. I don't even want to look at that documentary. I don't even want to test it. I don't want to test it. I don't want to test it. Because I know there's a dark side of all that stuff. I know. Because I was a kid in the hospital. I know that those people don't give a fuck about your kid. I know they fucking don't. They don't care because your parents put you in the damn hospital. They don't give a fuck about you. You are our responsibility now, and we're gonna use you as a lab rat, and we're gonna find out what's wrong with you. The kid's gonna lie. The kid's not gonna tell the truth. The kid is scared, you know? They don't care. Give him these pills, see how he reacts. Give him these pills, see how he reacts. They don't care. But so I already know that there's a dark side to all that stuff. And I don't even want to look at that documentary. Because, you know, curiosity usually kills the cat. If you know it's bad, just don't fucking do it. Just don't fucking find out. Curiosity is going to kill the cat. You don't want that. But, but man, you know, but when it comes to progress, you gotta stand your ground. You gotta stay doing what you gotta do to continue to be the example. That's why I think I had that talk with that supervisor, and he just told me less is more. When it comes to anger, less is more. Because if you go for more in the heat of anger, you're only going to make yourself even angrier. You're going to make yourself worse. You're only causing harm on yourself. So it's best if you can feel a spark of anger coming inside of you. Just do less. When you do less, the anger will subside. It's a work in progress. I have to work on it within myself. You know, I've been doing wonderfully. Because I used to be a freaking hothead. I used to go off. I used to have manic episodes all the time. Like, it was bad, you know. I don't ever want to go back to that. I refuse. That's why I stay working on myself all the fucking time, you know. Like, I just stay on it. Because I don't want to go back to how I was. I believe there is beauty in life, you know. And I want to find that. I want to find that for myself, you know. I want to find beauty in life. I want to find, you know, I just want to find beauty in life, you know. And beauty is in the moment. And the more you stay in the moment and you embrace and you express gratitude towards the moment becomes even beautiful. It becomes even more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful. And you start to attract more, the more beautiful relationships that you develop, you know. When the beginning of all friendships, it starts off as a seed. But the more you come back to that seed and you water it and you continue to water it each and every time, it grows into a flower and it blossoms. The more beautiful flowers you have in your garden, you're only going to attract more and more and more people are going to want to be in your garden, you know? So I always try to make sure that I'm watering everyone in my garden, basically. Because I know through my friends, and I vocalize it to them all the time, I'm going to attract more people like you. I'm going to attract people more with your traits, more with your attributes, more that you have to offer to me. Because I'm learning from you, you know? And I will vocalize to them in person. I want to attract more people like you. I want to attract more people like you. I know through you, I will be attracting more people. Or better, you know? That's just how it is. You know, I speak it into existence. You know, I want my garden full of beautiful flowers. You know, because I know one day maybe I will have that beautiful family that is. I know the stereotype is not accurate, because the stereotype of a beautiful family is usually a dysfunctional family, you know. So I don't even know what a beautiful family is, man. I don't even know. I don't know what a beautiful relationship is. I don't know, you know. But I have hopes that one day I will see it. You know, I'm not gonna lie. My family is beautiful, all in all. But there's a lot of healing that needs to be done, you know, a lot of progress that's being made, you know. And I know that my relationship with my family is going to blossom into a beautiful flower as well. I want y'all to know, to see from what I'm trying to say. I want a beautiful family for myself. I don't know what a beautiful family looks like, because there was a lot of dysfunction, you know, through my upbringing. You know, not just from my parents' aspect, but like back home, all that stuff, you know? I mean, I just want to start. I just want to see what a beautiful side of life is, you know? One where there is no addictions, one where there is no pills, you know, codependency on substance. And I don't know anything outside of that, because I've seen it so many freaking times. I've seen it all the time. I want to see what something is like without all of that, you know? Because I don't know anything. Like I told my friend, and she's been teaching me a lot. Like, I don't know what it's like. I don't even know what love is. Like, I remember when I thought I was in love, but come to find out that wasn't love. That was not love. I don't even know what love is. I don't know what, I don't know what a good relationship is. I don't even know how to tell if someone really is into me, or they just wanting to mind me. I can identify someone wanting to mind me. I can already identify that. But see, I only know the toxic side of everything because of the toxic environments that I was in through my upbringing. So, I don't even know. I don't even know what, a beautiful family really is supposed to be. Because all I've seen is just suffering. People suffering with addictions, people suffering to take care of all these kids they got and all this other stuff, like suffering, just complete suffering. And then on top of that, addictions that they drown themselves in. And like, there has to be another side of all this. There has to be another side of all this, there has to be. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. But I want to. I've always been scared of that stuff. But I want to see that's why I take care of my garden, man. I take care of my friendships that I got. I water them daily. Turn all my friends into beautiful flowers, man. Because it's going to pay off all in all. And maybe that garden that I got, when it gets bigger and bigger and bigger over time, maybe I will get to see what it is, what love really is, and I know what love is between friends and everything like that, but like, I'm talking about like on a family, like a relationship type deal. Like, I don't even know what a stable relationship even looks like. I don't even know what that looks like. And people can say that they're in a stable relationship, but are you freaking really? Are you fucking really? Because, I thought I was in a stable relationship too at one time. That was not stable at all. I was fucking miserable. I was fucking miserable, man. So I don't even know what any of that is. But I want to find out. That's why I'm learning. Now, I do believe that some people are exposed to the other side of life. But the thing is those people are really sheltered in that side of life, which makes them more vulnerable. Like, say, if they were to meet someone from the other side of life. I believe there are two sides of life, like yin and yang, okay? Majority, almost everybody, is on the toxic side. But what does the other side look like? What does the other side look like, Now, I know it's within yourself. That's the beginning because you want to attract. But I always still see suffering. I know that I can correct it to the best of my ability. But I want to know, is there really another side? The closest I've got to another side is the gym. People just really wanting to work on themselves and build themselves daily. That's about as close as I've got, That's the closest to the beautiful side of life that I believe is somewhere. But I do believe the friendships I've made in the gym, like, it's a garden, okay? I'm I'm watering the flowers all the time, making them blossom all the time. I always make sure I have a good experience in the gym with my friends and all that stuff, because I know later on, because we're all working on ourselves. We're all in it together, I know it's going to pay off, and I'm going to continue to help my garden blossom even more, I just want to see what the other side is like, I want to see what it's like. I want to be able to experience it. I want to be able to experience it. See, I can acknowledge a lot of ill-minded things that I used to have in my mind. I've overcame it. I battle it out all the time. If my old self wants to come back, well, he's about to get a quick knockout because he's about to get put back down. But I want to know what is the other side, That's what I want to see. But y'all just got to stay working on yourself. Stay watering your garden. Make sure all your friendships that you have are blossoming beautifully. You want to take care of them because you're all in it together. The people that choose to be in your garden are there for a reason. So make sure you're watering them as they need, Because if you mess up one thing, it's just going to be detrimental to your garden, But anyway, hit 35. I'm about to hit up in the gym. Y'all stay positive. I'm out. Peace.